You know, you know. Come. I'm actually surprised it took this long to do a request for this movie. Meet the Spartans. Because this is one of those dog shit comedies. I mean, I don't know if anyone's ever done like a top 50 worst comedies. This would be probably in the top 10 of worst comedies for me. Going Overboard is probably number one. I know that the Underground Comedy Movie and what was that one that was kind of a sequel? Inappropriate Comedy, I forget what it was called. Movie 43, those would be up there. But these movies, and I know you hear the computer, because the computer's getting pissed, it's revving his engines, his steam is blowing out of its ears. It don't have ears, well it grew ears, just to have them steaming out of its sockets, because I'm talking about this movie. By Friedberg and Seltzer. Seltzer Bottle, Seltzer Burger, Friedberg. Rather, listen to Friedberg. They did Date Movie. They did Epic Movie. They did Disaster Movie. They did this movie. I guess they were writers on some of the scary movie films. I guess they got left behind. I guess maybe they wrote stuff and it probably got rewritten. Or maybe if there's a joke that didn't work in those movies, it was because of them. And the fact that they kept getting movies, because these films would be made for small budgets and they would make a tiny portion of profit. Or someone says, hey, worldwide, it cost 20 million and made 80 million worldwide or 70 million worldwide. Well, that's profit, so we'll keep going. Before I get started, this is a paid request from Malivore. Thank you so much for that. Thank you. If anyone wants to request any type of videos, a review, a re-review, thought streams, commentaries, a tier list, a topic, ranking, whatever the case may be, video game playthrough, feel free to send it. I'll get to it as soon as I possibly can. So thank you for that. But Meet the Spartans came out in 2008. And this piece of shit beat Rambo 4 at the box office. Where this debuted number 1 and Rambo 4 debuted number 2. Granted, if you actually talk to people, they'll tell you what happened was people would pay, like younger kids would pay tickets for Meet the Spartans, and then they would sneak in to see Rambo because they wanted to see Rambo. They wanted to see a hardcore R-rated action film, bloody and violent, which it was, because Rambo 4 is fucking awesome. So yeah, you got the ticket, but people wanted to see Rambo 4 more because they knew it would be a better movie, and it definitely is a better movie. But they tried out that mantle. We beat Rambo. We beat you, Sly. I'm like, you didn't beat a dead hooker. Okay? You couldn't beat a stuffed pig. Why is the pig stuffed? Because this movie would want to fuck it and laugh about it. That's how stupid a comedy is. This is a movie that has so much story to it. It's an hour and 7 fucking minutes long with 18 minutes of credits. 18 minutes of credits where they just throw in random deleted scenes, which again doesn't make sense, because if you don't show the deleted scenes anyway for your running time, why don't you just put them in the fucking movie then? Oh, you took them out because they weren't good enough, but you're showing them to the audience as part of your movie. They had credits because you thought they were good enough. If they weren't good enough, you would not let the audience see them. Maybe an extra on a DVD or Blu-ray, maybe. But as actually part of the fucking film, we don't take this out, but we'll put it at the... It's because they knew they had short-ass movies. They only had an hour and 7 minutes worth, which to me, that wasn't even worth squat. And theaters like, well, we gotta have a movie that's more than an hour and 7 minutes. Okay, here's 18 minutes of credits. Well, how do we do 18 minutes of credits? Put in a bunch of deleted scenes, but you deleted them. Yeah, I know, but put them back in. But didn't you delete them in the first place? Yeah, but we're too fucking short. Just my temper is short on shit like this. These Freebird Seltzer guys killed a genre. They murdered a genre. I'm trying to think of other people that murdered a genre. And that is the spoof genre. And I liked the spoof genre. Doesn't mean every one of them was gold, but Airplane, Airplane 2, Naked Gun films. I love National Lampoon's Loaded Weapon 1. I love Hot Shots Part Duh. I love you on Wall Street. Films are Wrongfully Accused, Spy Hard, but at least they have Leslie Nielsen, and man, they may not be that great, but they're a hell of a lot better than this. I mean, between date movie, epic movie, disaster movie, and this, if you ask me, well, which is the worst of the four, I don't know, because they're all in the same boat of horse shit. They're all in the same boat. And you blow up the boat, and you sink the boat, let it hit the fucking iceberg. And call the Titanic and call it a day. Bombardier with my balls onto the boat, sink it. My balls hit your battleship and sunk it. And some fucking reason, Kevin Sorbo had to do this fucking film. Granted, probably because, let's be fair, Kevin Sorbo is not really in demand. I like Kevin Sorbo. As in, I liked his Hercules TV show. I watched that show back the other day. I have it on DVD. Hercules, The Legendary Journeys. I liked that show quite a bit. It is my favorite version of Hercules. Call the Conqueror didn't really light any fires. Wasn't that great of a movie. But I don't think it was Kevin Sorbo's fault. I know he's very religious. Nothing wrong with that. And he does a lot of religious movies. A lot of religious films. Again, nothing wrong with that. For what bits and pieces I've seen of them, doesn't seem that good. Good movies. But hey, if it gives him a living, so be it. If it makes him happy, so be it. I can goddamn guarantee you. Sorry, Kevin Sorbo, you may not like that. It's religious, but I'll still say it. I goddamn guarantee you, because God ain't gonna care that I say it, because He knows this sucks too. This is the type of film God would damn. That Kevin Sorbo did this for the paycheck. Wow, they're going to let me have a paycheck and be in a film that's going to be in theaters after however, I don't know what was the last, maybe it was Called the Conqueror, that was the last film he was in that went into theaters. That was like 97 or so that movie came out? I can't remember. Anyway, Carmen Electra's in the film. Diedrich Bader, which he's been in a lot of stuff, from the Drew Carey Show to he was in Office Space as the lead guy's neighbor. He's been in a lot of stuff, Diedrich Bader. And this is one of those Method Man has an appearance in this. Freebird and Seltzer, what they do is they litter the movie. Date, epic, disaster in this movie. Constant stream of pop culture references. Because they think that's funny. We reference this. We reference that. We reference this. We reference that. And we make fun of it, but, you know, it's not that witty or clever. And hell, after a little bit, it's going to be dated, and some people may not even know what the fuck you're talking about. I'd love to see a younger person see this film. Because, I mean, this film is, what, 2008, 18, holy shit, 1920. God, that fucking long? 17 years? Yeah. Just 3 more years, 20, yeah, 17 fucking years ago. Can you imagine younger people trying to understand what half this shit meant? Leave Britney alone. What the fuck is that? Why is some girl shaving her head and going on a baby? There's going to be shit that people are not going to understand. But it's the laziest, lousiest jokes. Or dads that go on for too long. And for some of these, if it's longer than 5 seconds, it's too fucking long. And either the most obvious jokes, there's no wit and there's no cleverness, and the actors are just getting their paychecks. Thank God it's short. That's the only positive I could say, is that it's short. Should have been just 5 seconds long. So the fact it's an hour and 7 without the credits is still too goddamn long to me. I mean, just describing what happens in the film shows how lazy and stupid. Again, and that's what pisses me off about these two jamotes, these two jokers, Freebird and Seltzer. Well, can't say jokers because they actually will make you laugh, unlike these. There was a franchise that, from time to time, a genre, I should say, the spoof movie. I know that there's going to be an attempt at making a new scary movie film. We'll see how it goes. But you rarely see spoof films made nowadays. Because you're reminded of this shit. Oh no, we can't have that. Spartans looking at babies and their Shrek. A Shrek baby that barfs on one of them and gets tipped. The narrator says that the baby's Vietnamese. Brangelina has first dibs. Some people may not even know what the fuck that means. Well, Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie were a couple. Some may go, what? Yes, they were a couple at one point. I thought it was Billy Bob Thornton. That was a different, Angelina Jolie was a different person. So yeah, some people may not even remember what the bridge of fucking Lena. In fact, who is Brad Pitt with nowadays? I don't even know. Because I think he divorced Jolie, 2019? I don't even know who the fuck it is. He got a girlfriend. De Ramon. There you go. So then it goes into our lead. It's mostly a parody of 300, the Zack Snyder film 300. It's mostly about that, as you can tell by the cover. Mostly, again, 300. So the lead guy, trying to be the Gerard Butler character in 300, he shows his growing pains. They throw in a James Bond reference. I forget, was it Casino Royale? Must have been, because that came out before this. Where the Bond villain was doing the thing against Bond's balls. Only here's done in a way where he also puts, dog food, and the dog goes up and bites the balls. Then he goes on a trip to prove his manhood and is out in the cold and hungry, and there's a Subway. There's a shitload of product placement. I'm sure that's supposed to be the joke, but Subway, Dentyne Ice, Budweiser, but I don't think they could say Budweiser, but it's supposed to be Budweiser. And the joke is, yeah, they're selling out and doing commercials. It just comes off as them doing commercials and not being funny about it. He meets up with a foul-mouthed penguin that's his size. Granted, done with a puppet. Nowadays, if they tried this, it'd be CGI. Talking smack, talking shit. Leads with the fucking penguin puts its balls on his face. Eat my penguin balls! And then turns around and shits on his face. So, the guy is forced to lick penguin balls and gets shit on in the face. That's your comedy. He's able to kill the thing. He proved his manhood. Meets Carmen Electra. They get together. They have a kid. The lead is wrestling the kid. The joke is that he's beating up the kid and giving pile drivers on the kid. I want to give a power drama in this fucking movie. We meet Kevin Sorbo, who's the lead guy's buddy. Captain of the guards. Deidre Bader, can't even talk, is called traitor. Oh, so wow, he was a traitor. they meet someone, or someone meets them, and this is where you get the scene where this is Sparta hits the person down the hole, and they push this dad as far as it can go. I can't even talk fucking right. So it's Britney Spears, but some people may not understand this joke of why is this woman again cutting her hair at her baby. Britney Spears, one of her crazy moments. I don't even know if they say the name Britney. But anyway, he tits her into the pit. Some guy singing, and then I didn't know who the hell it was. This I didn't even get. It's some guy singing with like a mohawk or something, and when he's tits, he's like, "I'm not gay." I'm guessing that was something with American Idol, because the next bit is the 3 panelists from American Idol. Not the actual panelists, but a guy playing Simon Cowell, a guy playing Paula Abdul, and again, 3 people playing those people, and they do the typical Simon Cowell, the guy portraying them, he's being, nasty. He pushes the desk and the 3 into the pit. Apparently there's a lot more. If you look at the deleted scenes at the end of the movie, there was more. There was like Ellen DeGeneres, and there was, I think, Kevin Federline, the guy was representing. I think he's tit in the movie prior. I'm trying to remember who else. I think George W. Bush. So after all that, the lead goes to see the Oracle, who is Ugly Betty. If you don't know what the fuck that is, you're not alone, because I didn't know what the fuck it was. But Ugly Betty is a show. Now, how long did this show last? 4 seasons. A show that lasted 4 fucking seasons from 2006 to 2010. So again, there may be people like me who never saw the show and watched it going, what the fuck is Ugly Betty? I'd have to look it up. So she passes out, and these 3 oracles, one of them starts licking her nose and licking her lips and starts saying catchphrases. For shizzle, and save the cheerleaders, save the world. Again, you may not know what the fuck that's a reference to. That's a reference to a TV show called Heroes. Now, when was Heroes? Which I never saw the show. I know of it. I do remember that. Another show that only lasted 4 fucking seasons. From 2006 to 2010. So like Ugly Betty. So that means like they did this joke and they're in the middle, like they're halfway through their show. They're like season 2 of the 4 seasons. Again, some people today might not even know what the fuck Heroes and Ugly Betty are. Again, Ugly Betty, I didn't know. Heroes, I vaguely know, but anyway, never saw the show. So shenanigans happen. He's warned that if he goes against the Persians, he'll die, and his men will die. They really, really, really hone in on the fact that this whole thing's homoerotic. So they high-five the ladies, but they kiss the guys. The lead guy and Kevin Sorbo kiss. When he pulls back, he pulls up a pube that the guy had from his wife, Carmen Electra. They get their men, which instead of 300 is 13, because we can only afford 13. One's is a fat guy. You know he's fat because there's a point. Well, he's fat, number 1. They make fun of his titties, number 2. And number 3, there's a moment where he's eating donuts. So you know he's fat. By the way, remember, he's fat. By the way, if you don't know, he's fat. In case you didn't know that. So they march and dance to I Will Survive, and they're skipping. I will survive. they get to a place, and pretty much for the rest of the fucking film, they're in this one place where they stop and drink Gatorade, and there's a Gatorade ad. And that's where the fat guy eats donuts. And they have a lot of TV show references. There's references to Dancing with the Stars, in this case, Dancing with the Spartans. I mentioned already they had American Idol. Deal or No Deal. They also reference insult battles, Stomp the Yard, Paris Hilton. In 300, there was a guy who wants to be a Spartan who has a hump. And here is Paris Hilton. Not the actual Paris Hilton, but an actress pretending to be Paris Hilton. And has a hump. And of course, she gets made fun of as she should. Well, actually, it's Paris Hilton. They meet Method Man and his group, and they do a battle with Stomp the Yard. Where they're doing dance after dance after dance. They're doing a dance battle. And that's where they go to the judges of Dancing with the Spartans. The guy who they say, the fat guy from Borat, he comes out. He's the leader, the god, whatever. Has all these piercings. There's a whole bit about deal or no deal. Do you want to fight us or take the deal or not the deal? I don't want to give you my warriors. We don't do battle, but the battle is insult battle. Each one insulting the other. And the Spartans win. At one point, the bad guy leader, he takes some Dentine ice and does a commercial for Dentine ice. Back at home, Carmen Electra is told you should get your man more men or they'll die. She does it, finds out Deidre Bader's a traitor. And now she's got some venomous animosity, so she becomes the black costume from Spider-Man 3. And Deidre Bader all of a sudden is Sandman. And the joke is that at one point he's just saying a cat shits on him, so when he comes back up, there's cat shit on his face. Back to the Spartans, Ghost Rider randomly pops up, and they throw water on his head. Rocky Balboa comes out and knocks Kevin Sorbo's son's head off. But then Kevin Sorbo fights Rocky, and they make fun of Rocky, saying, oh, he's got adult diapers, oh, a Botox overdose. I'm like, dude, Rocky Balboa and Rambo 4 were 10 times 10 times 10 quadrupled better. 10 times better upon better than your piece of shit. There's a reference to GTA. There's a reference to the Transformers Cube. The bad guy gets all this stuff on him. Falls on our heroes. And everybody dies. The fat guy was blinded earlier. He was told to go off and get Carmen Electra. He does. It ends like 300 where the new Spartans are going to fight the bad guys. Again, this is an hour and 7 fucking minutes. And that still felt too damn long. The jokes, again, were tiresome. They were unfunny. They were just cringe-inducing. It's just reference Deal or No Deal. Reference Ghost Rider. Reference Britney Spears. My God, man. What the hell? Seriously? This movie is just a pile of fucking dog shit, man. It really, truly is. A pile of shit. And then 18 minutes of credits throwing in these deleted scenes that, again, were deleted for a fucking reason. I know there's gonna be someone say I'm already on it. I know someone's gonna say, "Well, you're supposed to hate it." Well, why? If so, mission accomplished. You did a shitty film, devoid of laughs. Kevin Sorbo, it's nice to see him, but not in this drivel. The lead guy, he's tried to have that Gerard Butler tenacity. If it's when it's a bit more deadpan, it could maybe work. But yeah, just the way it's written, the onslaught of just lame ass fuck jokes that keep sledging towards you, it just makes for just a unfunny, horrible fucking movie. In my opinion, it's a horrible fucking film. It's an unfunny piece of shit. And take that for what you will. Don't believe me, watch it yourself. So that said, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.